what should we do before we go for interview. Similar like sending unsolicited letters. If you want to work for any organization, you must do research about the organization. Nowadays, compared to during our days, during your parent days, we don't have good reference in terms of news, getting the news, because during our era, we don't have this social media. We only have very limited resources of website. So what happened is we rely heavily on newspaper. And from newspaper, we don't have good info about the prospective organization. But in your case, nowadays, those are easy to get. Yeah, so you need to do the research about the organization so that when you enter that call room, interview room, you will be able to answer any question from the interviewer, because the basic rule is that they want to know whether you know about the organization. That is the number one rule. Katalah UMS membuka peluang untuk pekerjaan, and then you are being called for interview. Kalau saya dalam panel interview, saya akan tanya nombor satu ialah, what is the current slogan of UMS? I'm referring to the current Vice Chancellor. What actually his slogan? Normally kita akan ada perubahan kepimpinan. Any organization, they will have different CEO, different directors from time to time. Normally, the new directors, the new leaders will bring with him or her a slogan. So in our case, UMS,
UMS, the brain of Borneo?
Julian lah kan eh?
Yeah.
Okay, congratulations. Yeah, UMS, the brain of Borneo. That is our current slogan, led by our Vice Chancellor. So, ini contoh-contoh yang mana you all need to do research on the organization that you are going to attend interview with. Mereka mau tahu sama ada you know about the organization. So, dalam katanya vision. Yang kedua ialah vision. For example, UMS, the vision is will become innovative university in global standing, for example. So, benda-benda ni you all kena tahu. Itu yang dimaksudkan research. And then, product, services, and recent achievement, this is extra. If you know about them, you will get better evaluation marks from the interviewer. Sebagai contoh, kalau di UMS ni, understand the product, services, and recent achievement. Agak-agak you all, apa achievement UMS yang latest, yang boleh dibanggakan? So, ini adalah antara soalan-soalan yang akan ditanya oleh bakal majikan. Kalau soalan-soalan ini you all tak dapat jawab, dia ada dua. Sama ada you all tidak tahu, ataupun jawapan you all tidak betul. Kalau jawapan tidak betul, bagus. Kalau langsung tidak tahu, markah kurang. So, maksudnya di sini ialah not only the products, services offered by the organization, as well as the achievement by that organization, you should know. Because the question will be asked to you is, how are we going to maintain this achievement, for example? So, how can they ask you that question if you don't know about the recent activities of the organization? Help show genuine interest. Ini maksudnya bila you do the research means that you really passionate about that organization. Tailor your responses to align with company cultures. So bila you bagi feedback ataupun menjawab soalan-soalan interview itu, you kena tahu the value instilled in that organization. Contoh macam UMS. Motonya ialah bertekad cemerlang. Apa maksud bertekad cemerlang? Maksud bertekad cemerlang itu tidak pandai-pandai cemerlang, bertekad saja. Betul ke tu? Ini contohlah, ini provokatif statement yang mana interviewer akan tanya. So you need to clarify that. Macam tadi saya cakap, simple saja. Kenapa lah UMS ni motonya bertekad cemerlang? Tidak pandai-pandai cemerlang, bertekad saja. Jadi you need to be able to define that motto to the values of organization. Jadi if I were the interviewee, I will answer like this. UMS always make sure they achieve the objective every time they face challenges. Meaning to say, bertekad cemerlang mean you always do your best. You never surrender. Contoh. So you need to be able to elaborate things like this. So tailor your response to align with company cultures. So number one, you must do the research about the company. Second, you need to be able to answer spontaneously when you are asked in the interview. Contoh, tell me about yourself. Okay. How actually you are going to respond this? Can you tell me about yourself? Apa yang you all akan beritahu? When the interviewer said, tell me about yourself, janganlah kamu cakap, nama saya Jakaria, tapi orang boleh panggil Jack. Itu bukan itu yang dia mau tahu. Majikan ni dia suka somebody yang good critical thinking. In order for us to reach the stage of critical thinking, kita kena develop narrative dulu. Narrative. Macam tadi saya beritahu, I'm from Tuaran, from the community of Bajau Sama. In my community, we always believe in blah, 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 blah. Based on that, I put in myself a motto, a slogan that whatever challenges given to me, I will make sure it will be a success one. Contoh macam begitu. So, if you notice, I put a narrative first. Narrative is, I'm from this community, and in our community, we struggle a lot. At the end of the day, the idea is to get things done. And this is actually a sample of answers that interviewer want to know. Bukannya, tell me about yourself. Saya masih bujang. Contoh tidak. That's not tell me about yourself. Ramai orang yang silap. Remember, when we have many candidates for interview, we don't have much time. We don't have much time to answer all the question. So what we need to do, we have to share some answers. Macam yang saya cerita tadi itu kan, dia start developing the interest of the interviewer, because dia nampak in a way this candidate dia macam ada something very interesting, I want to know more. Macam tu. Okay. So second question, what are your strengths and weaknesses? If you remember, when people ask what is your strength and weaknesses, most of the time this is natural. Most of the time people won't say their weaknesses. Ini normal case. Tetapi dia akan cakap macam ni. Saya sedar saya mempunyai banyak kelemahan. Ini klise. Ini yang selalunya orang guna dalam interview, yang memang dalam interviewer punya mind tu, itu antara statement yang akan dikeluarkan. So don't waste your time saying that. You terus cari contoh-contoh yang berlaku di masa lepas. Sebagai contoh, salah satu kelemahan saya ialah saya tidak merujuk kepada orang yang lebih arif. Sebagai contoh, saya pernah terlibat dalam satu aktiviti, dan aktiviti itu telah mengakibatkan satu krisis berlaku. Alangkah bayangkan sekiranya saya merujuk hal tersebut kepada orang yang lebih arif, mungkin krisis itu tidak berlaku. You develop your macam creativity itu. Creativity, because employer, they want to recruit talents. When they recruit talents, they need people who can solve issues that might happen in their organization. So when you back to the question, what are your strengths and weaknesses. You kena relate kepada kejadian-kejadian di masa lepas yang mana dengan kekuatan anda dapat mengatasinya. Pada masa yang sama juga, kejadian-kejadian masa lepas yang mana disebabkan kelemahan anda ianya berlaku dan anda berazam tidak mengulanginya lagi. So that is the ideas of the second statement. And then the third one, why should we hire you? Ini provokatif. Kenapa saya perlu ambil Aziz? Kenapa saya tidak ambil si Irsyad? Contoh. Why should we hire you? Ini selalunya soalan-soalan yang kalau kita dapat jawab dengan baik, we might have the opportunity, better opportunity. So I don't know what is the answers. It's up to you. Kamu yang kena fikirkan. The way you figure it, similar. You do the research about the organization. You do the research, you will know the answer why you are the one who should be hired. Okay? Practice aloud to build confidence and fluency. Kalau nak pergi interview itu, dia adalah aktiviti bercakap, berbual. Jadi kalau you all silent, kalau ditanya sesuatu jawab iya ataupun tidak, it will not benefit you. So, kena banyak berlatih soal jawabnya di rumah sebelum pergi interview. Okay, so this is you need to practice the common interview. Third one is dress professionally. Sometimes we call it grooming. When you wear the right attire to the interview, extra marks already in your pocket. So maksudnya dress professional ini kalau boleh pakai tali leher, baju kemeja and so on. But it depends on what position are you apply. Kalau kamu apply jawatan-jawatan yang tidak memerlukan pakaian begitu, but you better double check sama ada mesti pakai tali leher ataupun tidak, dan sebagainya. Most of the time attending interview is about projecting yourself to others as people who are obedient, disciplined. This obedience, discipline can be picturized through your dressing and grooming. Arrive on time. What is the best time to arrive at the interviewing venue? So, in my opinion, the best time is 30 minutes, 30 minit. Bukannya 10 hingga 15 minit. Yang paling baik ialah kena sampai 30 minit. Why 30 minutes? Because maybe you want to do some revision. And while doing the revision, you are cooling down. Kalau you datang 10-15 minit, it's okay, tapi it's better to have 30 minutes because we never know what happened in our rules. You are not going to lose anything if you arrive earlier than 15 minutes to the ideas. When you are being interviewed in the room, remember communication is not about verbal communication alone. It also includes the non-verbal communication. And if you still remember Mehrabian model, the non-verbal communication actually influence the success of the communication. Sebagai contoh, your facial expression, for example, your gesture, all this will melengkapkan lagi you punya verbal communication. Kadang-kadang bila ditanya, do you have any question? As I said last week, do you have any question? You must have a question. Jangan cakap, you buat gesture angkat bahu, maksudnya tidak ada ataupun tidak ada. At least you must say you have question. Kena ingat last week I mentioned to you all, this is the only part whereby you must give a question. Yang lain-lain tu you bagi answers, jawapan. Because the panels ask for a question.